Welcome back. Of course, we're having a conversation about our young people, our youth in this Middle Tennessee community, especially those who are working with the YMCA's youth outreach programs. We have with us Adrianna Flax, who's the Achievers Program Executive, and Joshua Love, Black Achievers Program Director. And before we took a break, you were talking about how sometimes you have the focus or theme of the conversation with young people, but they may have something else on their mind. And it's easy enough to kind of go with that flow because it's all about making sure that they get what they need from each of these programs.
That's correct.
Yeah. What we do is we meet kids where they're at. Wherever they come to us through the Y and youth outreach, we meet them where they're at and empower them to steer. Mm-hmm. So we give them the information, we give them the access and the resources, and then they tell us what they need. I think it's a myth that teens want to push away adults. I think and be separate. What we've seen is teens and the youth in our community, they want to be seen. And they want to be seen for who they are and empowered and really heard. And so, you know, that's what we do when we create these relationships between our staff at the Y and our achievers. And the same with our Reach and Rise mentorship program. Our kids are paired with a mentor. We have a one-on-one mentoring and small group mentoring. And it gives our kids an opportunity for one more adult to say, you matter to me. Yeah. And that's really special.
Now, the Reach and Rise, this one is also for middle school students and high school, or only high school?
So for our individual mentoring, we have an age range of, I believe it's 5 to 17.
Okay.
And then for our
the group
mentoring
8 to 15.
is 8 to 15.
Wow.
And so groups are sometimes easier for kids to open up and be comfortable, and so we have two sort of different setups to serve kids and families when they need a mentor. But I think every kid can benefit from a mentor. So.
Absolutely. And then where are you finding these mentors? Are they involved in the Y already in some form or fashion, or is there some kind of way of pairing young people up with maybe the movers and shakers in the Nashville community who are interested in being mentors? How does that all work?
So mentors will come to us as interested volunteers, but we also reach out to corporations. We reach out to community groups. We are affiliated through Volunteers for the Urban League. We really are open to having volunteers come to us, and we try to create connections where kids can feel comfortable with that adult. What we really are in need of is black males. That would be an amazing opportunity for our young people to have another positive, engaged male in their life, and that says, you know, I care about you, I care about your future.
Right. And why is there a missing there, do you think, in that particular volunteer? So
some of our kids are from one-parent households, and that's oftentimes the families who will come to us and say, you know, I think my kid might be a good candidate for this program. And so when it's a single-parent household, finding another adult that will pour their energy into that child or that small group of children, it really can mean the difference for a kid. Yeah. And the choices they make and their future.
And Joshua, that might explain why you kind of get picked for the mentor automatically and get asked all those questions from young people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because speaking to a single family home, sometimes a single family home is a mother and they have a son, and it's been told that they seeking, you know, that male role model.
Yeah.
And the young men that I do talk to, just like when I was talking about relationships, there was one young man in particular I was talking to. I was talking about something that was kind of basic to growing up, but he did not know anything about it. It's just simply having that male there to trying to guide him in the right direction of relationships. And sometimes your mentor will help that. You know, not saying it has to be a father figure or anything, but sometimes older brother, someone wise, someone you can listen to have some wisdom to him to point in the right direction is great.
Yeah, you all have been around since the 90s, the early 90s with the these programs, correct? And so I'm wondering, there's got to be a great group of alums that have gone through the Black Achievers program. Do you ever reach back out to those folks that went through either the Latino Achievers, the Black Achievers program, and say, hey, if you got a minute or two on your calendar, we'd love to have you back and talk to the people who are currently, the young people who are currently in the program?
I actually have more parents who are alum that bring their kids to be involved than being involved. So I have some that were alum, and they come and they observe and they kind of participate on that Saturday programming. But for the most part, I have a lot of parents that were part of the program and they want their kids a part of the program.
Wow.
So they felt like it was a benefit for them, and they want their kids to be involved too. So that's what I see more so. But we do have some alum that have come to be a part. We have some alum that's been the alum that's not a part of this part of Middle Tennessee, but alum at other locations like in Louisville who's been a part of our board. So we've had people periodically through the years that's been a part of our program. So
I would think some of that ability to find where they are and even track where people have gone post-Achievers program is probably valuable. And maybe you do that in a way.
We do as much as we can with regard to maintaining contact and tracking folks. I think sometimes after a program's been around for so many years, there are several different people who have worked in that program. And so reaching back out to folks may be difficult just because of a lack of continuity or information. So we're very open to graduates of our programs reaching out to us to say, you know, how can I get involved? How can I pay it forward? In Latino Achievers, we have 2 of our board members are actually program alumni.
Excellent.
And that actually is a really great example for our kids on just the day-to-day to say, this is a person who was in your seat. And fast forward 10 years, fast forward, you know, 5 years even, they're in a leadership role and giving back, and it's just such a really awesome example.
Oh, and see, I can see those light bulbs going off too when they say, well, back when I was, I was here. So that's got to be a very powerful way to kind of get that message across about the importance of the program. Now, and speaking of numbers, do you even have an idea of the percentages, since the goal is to make sure they're ready for college and those next steps post high school? Do you have an idea of how successful you've been through the years with even making those transitions work?
So absolutely. In the last several years, our kids who are in our senior cohort, so each program has kind of a group of seniors that we will track more closely. The last several years, we've had a 100% high school graduation rate. Our college application rate is between 73% and 100% program to program. And then with regard to enrollment, we're still up there about close to 70%. And that's actually much higher than if kids are not in this program. Just the average for our young people in our community.
So you can see how it makes a difference, for sure. And those are numbers I'm thinking that you share with those corporations and other community partners that you're looking for. So talk a little bit about, if I'm a corporation or run a corporation, or if I've got you know, a pool of people that are looking to mentor, how do they go about that, get in touch and make their resources known to you?
Absolutely. So we are open to corporations reaching out to us or individuals. We have email addresses that are very simple, at Black Achievers or Latino Achievers at YMCA mid10.org. And we like for corporations who want to engage with us to, we try to pick all points that we can engage. So can we bring our kids for a work tour? Can we bring a field trip there? Do you have employees that you'd like to send, or that, an affinity group of employees who want to engage within our clubs or our Saturday programs? And then we also talk about, what kind of philanthropic dollars do corporations have where they are designated to invest in the community, and how can we align that with what we do? And really it just takes the experience of being with our kids, and then usually the engagement, the volunteerism, and the dollars follow, because the kids tell the story.
Exactly. One visit and you're hooked.
You're sold.
Absolutely.
I have people come and visit my classroom when I do a thing at MLK, and they enjoy it. They love it.
Right.
And it's not, and most of the time it's not me. It's the engagement between myself and my students, and then I I open them up to being able to engage in other adults. So when other adults come, they have no problem engaging them.
Yeah. As I said earlier, one of my first experiences with Black Achievers was with an intern, a young lady who was in high school here, and she came and did a summer internship with us at my corporation, and then went on and received a presidential scholarship to Hampton. So you've got a great group of kids that I know the community is willing to work with and for if they can do it.
Absolutely.
We have wonderful students.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Give me that email address one more time, or website, I guess.
Sure. Well, it's an email, blackachievers@ymcamidtn.org, or latinoachievers@ymcamidten.org. And Reach and Rise is available as well. And you can just email either of those and we'll direct it to Reach and Rise.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here and sharing the story and the update on both of the programs. We appreciate that, all of the programs rather, under the Youth Outreach. And thank you also for being here. We will see you again next time.